Right. So let's start on with it. Is my screen visible to all of you all?
Yes, it is.
Oh, thank you. So as we were discussing that, what this webinar is all about, today our main aim is to understand ourselves a little bit more better. I just wanted to know, like, have you ever felt that your body is trying to tell you something, but you're not sure how to listen to that? So that is what we are here to explore. We are going to think of our bodies as our really good friends, our best friends, that, they talk to us and we are going to listen. They talk to us through their feelings, through the sensation, and sometimes even those, butterflies that we feel in our stomach, right? So this is their way of talking to us. And today we are going to be a really good friend to understand what they are speaking and how they are speaking, so that, we can understand the important messages that they are trying to share with us, right? So we would be engaging, understanding more about these messages, and we would engage ourselves into, various mindfulness activities, some moments to understand and become more attuned with our bodies. So, and so that we can listen to it very in a kindly and in a compassionate manner, so that our body becomes our best friend. Right? So this is just a brief overview as to what we are going to cover for today. Right? So before we go, dive deeper into what we're going to cover today, I just want all of you all to just take a moment to reflect and, go within. Right. Yeah. Okay. So just a moment. I want you all to just take a moment to reflect right here, right now, with which of these skies you're feeling more connected to. How do you feel your inner sky is right now? You can just put it down in your chat box. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4? It does not have to have any meaning to it. Oh, I can see a lot of ones and twos coming in. Yeah. The three also. I'll type out mine also. Right. Each of our sky is such a different, right now. A lot of threes and fours are increasing now. Okay. It is okay to not to be sure also. Just looking at it, what I'm feeling connected to more. And it's okay if I don't feel connected to any of them right now. That is also absolutely okay. Yeah. The responses are pouring in. A lot of ones and threes are coming in. So now that we have become a little bit, attuned with what's happening, how is my inner sky looking like? I want you to continue with this reflection and take it a little bit ahead, right? And continue typing out here. So I just want you to take a minute and to think. I'm going to say a few phrases. Reflect that, have you heard anyone using this, or have you ever used these statements for yourself? My heart is racing. Or that I've ever heard, like, you're such a hot headed person. Or, I'm feeling, I've got cold feet. I'm feeling a lump in my throat. Have you, or have you heard anyone around you using these statements? You can just type out a yes or no in the chat box. Or even you can unmute and share it with us. Yes. Right. Very rare, but yes, people have used that. Mm-hmm. Right. I think now we can also start, reflecting more in our day-to-day life when we're conversing to our friends and, mindfully also have a look at it that have they ever used this or are they using it anymore? Or maybe after this, there is a possibility that we might start using these statements. Now that we have thought about these statements, I want you to take it even a step further. And have you experienced these sensations in your body? Like, have you experienced, racing heartbeats, a knot in your stomach, a lump in your throat? Hmm. I'm seeing a lot of
No.
things coming in. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Someone has mentioned that, they do feel feverish. That is, the body temperature changes when something new or something different is going to happen in the near future, something that they're very uncertain of. Right? There are a lot of yes coming in. And I would personally like to say that I've experienced each one of them, which is mentioned here, sometime, and maybe not today, maybe not yesterday, but till now, every once in a while, I have experienced this. Yeah, sometimes we do feel that, our head is just about to explode. It feels so heavy. Sometimes it feels so tense. Those of you who have mentioned yes, I just want to say not just, limiting it to just this three sensation. What are these other sensations also that if you're felt? You can unmute and share, or you can also put it in the chat box. Not in stomach. Okay. Not in stomach, like, it just feels there's something going around, like in some tingling sensation, or something is going around. Head feels heavy, yes. Heaviness in the heart, yeah. Mood swings come in, okay. But you can feel more inwards, bodily sensation wise, what is it that we have felt? Cold feet, yes. Pain in the throat, headache. When there's stress, something is coming in, right? Some sensations in the chest, yeah. Sometimes we feel there is something happening, but we're not able to put a word to it or put a name to it. But there something which is happening. Yeah. 4 to 5 seconds, yes. Niranjan has mentioned that he feels that he can't hear anything. Yeah. A lot of time, when we are in stress, we might at a behavioral something that Sonal has mentioned that we observe what is happening in our action wise overtly also. Right. Now that everyone we have, experience
Uh,
and it's personally good.
hello, ma'am. Uh, am I audible?
Why you're audible.
Oh, thank you. Sometimes I feel like heaviness in my mind. What about?
Heaviness in your mind, yes. So now I want you to go to the step a little deeper to, try to think of the situations wherein you felt this emotion, the sensations. So when was the last time that you have felt this? When you're alone? Yes. Okay. What were the instances that was making you feel, have these sensations? Some of you are feeling it right now. Yeah. Even I was feeling it just before joining this webinar. I felt that my heart was just racing really fast. Yeah, sweating when we are at work. Yes. Sometimes it's really random for us. We might not be able to know what is happening, but we just feel those sensations. Shahrukh has mentioned that he experiences some of this, every day after he is waking up. Feels some sort of sensation on his face. So have you ever pondered what, leads to these experiences, the sensations that we are, sense sometimes, yes, work pressure, family responsibilities. A lot of these situations come in, but, right? I think some of you have mentioned it in the chat also, that when they're anxious, when they're angry, they've correctly, identifying that it's not just situation and the sensation. These are not coincidental in nature. A lot of time there is a connection to it. This is what a mind body connection is, right? A lot of time the situation comes in when we are worried about our futures, as you're mentioning. There's a lot of uncertainty around it. When there are family issues coming in and we feel it's a lot on our plate, right? A lot of time the situational factors, as you're mentioning, that you would want to meet someone that you don't want to. Yeah. When people don't understand the work that you want to do. Right. A lot of time this makes us feel really sad, as you're mentioning. So this emotion plays a very important role. So the sensations are not really random for us. There is a possibility that we are not able to recognize that what is happening. But these sensations are always trying to tell us something. They might be trying to tell us what is it that we are feeling right now. As some of you had mentioned in the chat, okay, it might be coming because I'm feeling a little sad. It might be coming in because I might be feeling a little angry or I'm feeling anxious. So this is what a mind body connection is. It's like it refers to like in a very intricate interplay of what is happening in a mental state and what is happening in a physical state. Both of them combines together. And in this particular interconnection, our emotion plays a really, really important role. It manifests as various physical sensation and throughout our body. As we saw, it was not just limited to chest. Some of us were feeling it throughout the body when we saw there was change in our temperature, when we were feeling feverish. Sometimes we saw only in our feet where we say that, okay, maybe my feet has become really cold or my palms have become really, really cold right now. Right? Sometimes we might feel heaviness in just chest area. Sometimes we might feel some amount of pain and aches in our back. So the sensations are there all throughout the body. Sometimes it's stored, like it's there in very limited areas. Sometimes it's there all throughout. But it is there, right? So I think before we go ahead to and I walk you through what are the various signs and symptoms or various signals that our body gives us, right? I think you all have already started doing that. I want you all to continue doing this. Is I want you to try to reflect and see what are these signals that if now you are reflecting back, you're able to see that, oh, my body had was signaling me in this manner. Few of you all have already mentioned. I want everyone to try to reflect and engage through that. I'll take a minute here before I run you through the what are the signals that the body tries to. One of Dino has already mentioned that you feel and there's some like,
Hello,
yeah,
am I audible?
you're audible.
Yeah. So sometimes that I feel very low, and sometimes I try to express my views,
Hmm.
and maybe that is my problem. That what I expected to tell the people,
Hmm.
uh, the reasons are the content
Right.
that is going in a wrong way. They are unable to understand the thing what I am trying to convey,
Hmm.
and they will take the emotion and yeah, sometimes they don't take the point and they take the things words like attention. But
Hmm.
my thing is that when I'm be talking to the people,
Right.
that time I feel that a little bit tension and they are targeting me like that.
Hmm.
So that time when I'm trying to explain the thing that people watching in pursuing me in a way that are making me feel uncomfort. So that time I feel that I have to complete my point in
Hmm.
very quickly, and I want to go away from there.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then the remaining things with the colleagues and the people, I will feel like a state, and I was um, very tired.
Hmm.
And sometimes I feel very satisfied with my work, and sometimes uh, I was felt uh, very unsatisfied with myself and what I
Hmm.
have to do my 100% that I didn't done. But I'm preparing for the next term. So for the next term, I have to give my 100% like that. When I'm preparing, the time I am happy and satisfied. When I'm going to do that, the time that is not making me satisfied.
Right.
Thereafter, when initially it is, I didn't get the satisfaction. Then
Right.
overall, the term is uh, making me fail. So yeah, I want to know myself and uh, what I am preparing and what I am preparing for the term. There I have to perform as like I prepared.
Hmm.
That is, I want me to do that.
Right. So a lot of time as we are discussing here, as you mentioned that what you mentioned correctly, that most of us, are able to connect with what is happening in a situational factors. What is happening that, maybe this is what I'm feeling uncomfortable, I'm feeling low. Somewhere we are getting connected to our feelings, our emotions, right? However, knowing better in our body is sometimes is also important to understand at physical level what is that I'm feeling right now. And so it is important that you can reflect and see, maybe not right now, but you can take your time and reflect when those instances that you shared, what was happening at that time, in your body. So what was that your body was trying to tell you when it felt tired? I can see that in the chat box, some of you have already mentioned heaviness. Some of you had mentioned that they feel feverish here, right?
Yeah, for can you tell?
Hello,
Yeah, am I audible?
where are you?
Yeah, when I feel tense, that time I will feel get sweat
Right,
and uh, my heartbeat will be very high,
right,
and I will be like a panic uh, person, and yeah, I want to get out of that scenario very quickly, and I don't want to force me to stay there for a long while. May sometimes um, that make me feel childish, uh, but I can't hold that scenario for a long while. But that is a child thing, but I know, but I am doing that.
right. Well, as you correctly mentioned here, that there are times that you feel a little, heaviness. Your heart is beating really fast. I think that is what most of us also feel. As you can see, so these are few signs and signals that we can reflect on and get attuned with ourselves. For example, as you have mentioned, there might be increase in heart rate. So sometimes if you're really we might observe this happening where my heart is either beating too fast or sometimes it's just beating really really slow. Sometimes we also observe change in our breathing pattern. We may not have been observing so far, but with this we can try becoming a little bit more mindful as to what is happening with our body. So in the situations when I'm feeling low, when I'm feeling anxious, are these things happening? Sometimes we might feel, okay, it's quite random that I'm all of a sudden I feel that I'm not able to breathe. All of a sudden I might feel that my it's just so difficult to breathe or I'm breathing really heavily. Sometimes we might feel tense in our muscles. back, our leg, our feet can start to pain. There might be some pains and aches in our body. We might feel heaviness and tiredness in different parts of our body, or just the feeling of tiredness as a whole. As you know, most of you were also mentioning that there might be some change in our body temperature also. We might start feeling a little bit too feverish, or for example, when we're getting really, really angry, if or when we are sometimes really anxious also for that matter, if you touch your face, you'll observe that your cheeks would be really, really warm. What is this warmth? This is a sign of your body which is telling you. So our face sometimes becomes really flushed. That is, your blood is rushing towards your face right now. That's your body's reaction which is coming out to what you're feeling. What stimulus that inputs that you're getting from your surrounding right now. What inputs it is getting from your thought at that time. Based on that, your body is responding in this manner by giving you these signs and signals. So a lot of time, why is it that we feel cold feet? Or why is it that when we get really nervous or when we get really stressed, our palms are really, really cold? This is your body's way of telling you that, right? Any questions before we move ahead? So today that since we have, yes, I think before we move ahead, I'll just address the questions which are there here. So a lot of time, so first I'll address with Sarik's question, as you mentioned, that are these body signs and symptoms related to only psychological condition, or it could be medical conditions also? So definitely we can rule out a medical condition. If you feel this is happening really frequently, you can rule it out. Once we have ruled out and it's still occurring, sometimes we get an insight. So mind and body is not really different in that way. So a lot of time when we are really, really stressed, there is a possibility that I might actually end up getting fever. And why is that? It's not just the change in my body temperature, but because of my stress, my immunity has also lowered. So there is a connection between what is happening in my mind and my body. So because of the stress, my immunity has lowered, and as a result, I'm more prone to get infections, and as a result, get fever. That's another bit of it. Sometimes, I'm not sure if you have experienced this or if you have heard about it. Have you heard about exam fear? Or, exams fever? Right. So what are those exam fears? So those are the fears that once you give your exam, you actually feel better and there's no fear left at all. So these are just then, those are the indication that it's actually not physically something happening in your body, but it was more psychology related. And over a period of time, the more we are attuned with our body, we would be able to distinguish whether this is physical in nature, or it's coming from something which has happened, which is a medical condition, or this is something which is related to a psychological condition that we are experiencing. Right? Stage fear, yes. We might experience like before entering the stage, my hands would really tremble a lot, or my feet would really shake a lot. Yes. So all of these are the signs and symptoms that our body is telling us. However, a lot of time, because in the world that we are in, which is such a, we are in this fast paced life that we are in, that I'm waking up, I have my scheduled very, very packed, planned, wake up, do this, do this, do that, work, coming back from work, there's family, there's social life, I need to take care of this, I need to do that. And such an hustle culture that we are in, where we are constantly striving to, find something or to, take up something or other, we forget to listen to what is happening inside. And our body is really, really feel that we are really important. Okay. So they would be on and off, around the clock, would try to tell you something. But because of these, fast-paced life that we are in, we are conditioned, and also over a period of time, we have gotten conditioned to not to listen to it. Each one of us has a unique story. So if I think of a story, what comes to my mind is, okay, there are characters in the story, and each character has a role to play. And each of these roles are really unique, something different that they're bringing on the plate. However, how would we, if we're looking at a film with a story, if I just eliminate few characters out of it, would the story, would the narrative be complete? It won't be, right? But this is what happens in our day-to-day life also. As we were discussing earlier also, a lot of you were able to point it out that, there are times where I feel that, I'm behaving in a different manner. I'm getting mood swings. So in this way, what we are doing, we are able to see with things which are there out loud in front of us, things which are very overt in nature. However, these sensations, these feelings that we experiences, sometimes, they remain these becomes a very silent characters for us, and we tend to just push it down. So the aim of the webinar with today's session is to become more in touch with these emotions, more in touch with these physical sensations, to understand what is it that they're trying to tell us, right? So with the session, as we move forward, what I would want you all to do is try to, take a moment to reflect. What is it that you're feeling right here, right now? Take a minute. I've just used a few words here on the screen. You can look at it and see, are you feeling connected to any of the feeling words which are there? And you can also use words which might not be there. You can put it in the chat box. Take a minute to reflect. Put it in the chat box that, what is it that you are feeling right now? What is it that your body is trying to tell you?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Thoughtful, yes. Anxious, empty, tired, lonely, hurt, frustrated. And it's completely okay for us to feel range of emotions and not just one emotion at a time. A lot of hopeful, calm, happy thoughts are coming. Someone is feeling frustrated, right? Lonely, right? Mad, frustrated, confident and peaceful, yes. Someone is feeling really lonely as well. Yeah. Frustrated. Right now, yes. Confused, insecure, also feeling valuable and frustrated. So it is okay for us to have range of emotions, and also this range of emotion can come from different piles also. It does not have to be from just one spectrum of emotion. Anxious and tired. Someone can be feeling grateful at the same time very anxious also. Thoughtful, hurt, confused, and grateful, yes. Now, keeping these emotions in mind, we've all, you know, we have reached to a state, step one, stage one here, where we are slowly trying to become more in tune with what is it that I'm feeling right here, right now. However, these emotions, these feelings that we have experienced also has a storehouse. Where are these storehouse? These storehouses are there in our body. We may feel these, get stored in different parts of our body in the form of sensation, right? So I can, okay, I can feel, okay, right now I'm feeling really happy. But where in my body am I feeling? How is my body telling me that I'm feeling happy right now? Right? So let's try to tune in a little further, a little bit more deeper, to connect with ourselves and see in what part of my body am I feeling this. And for that, what I would request all of you is just come sit in a very comfortable position. We'll do a small activity with you. I would like to do a small activity with each one of you. Yeah. So just take a moment, sit in a very comfortable position. You can sit in a crisscross manner. You can keep your feet down as well. Yeah. If you are in a position where you feel you are comfortable lying down also, you can do that. Once you have done that, you just keep your eyes closed. If you feel uncomfortable keeping your eyes closed, you can just close it halfway. That is also fine. Right? Yes. Now, slowly and steadily, start by taking a few deep breaths in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Inhale and exhale. While we are continuing with this process, whenever you're feeling uncomfortable, you feel free to take a pause. What we are going to do is slowly and steadily, with each breath in and out, we're going to focus on different parts of our body. Through that focus, we're going to see and if there are any sensations that we are going to experience. We're going to just observe those. We are not going to put any labels to that. We're not going to put any judgments to that as to why am I experiencing that? Why am I feeling the sensation in this part of my body? Now, from top to bottom, we're just going to take focus on each part of our body very gradually and just observe from afar as to what are these sensations, right? And while we're doing that, we will continue taking in deep breaths in and out as we focus on each of our body parts. Now, slowly and steadily, bring your attention to the top of your head. Notice if there are any sensation that you might be feeling there. It could be a warmth, tingling sensation, or simply the weight of your head. Slowly let your awareness move down to your forehead, then to your eyes, cheeks, and jaw. Let go of any sensation that you might be holding in these areas. Just take a deep breath in and out to let go of the sensation. Slowly and steadily bring your focus to your neck and shoulder. Notice if there are any tightness or discomfort that you're experiencing. If you find any tension, consciously try to release the tension out by just rotating your shoulders a little. You can rotate it in and out. As you move down to your arms, feel the sensation into your upper arm, your elbows, forearms, and hands. Are they warm, cool, or just neutral? Gently shift your attention to your chest, to your back. Feel the rise and the fall of your chest with each breath, the expansion and contraction. Now become aware of your abdomen, your lower back. Feel the sensation as you breathe in and out. Move your attention to your hips, pelvis, then to your thighs, gradually moving down towards your knees, calves, and finally your feet. Feel the connection between your body and the surface beneath you. Take a few more deep breaths, feeling the aliveness and the awareness throughout your body. Whenever you are ready, slowly rub your palms together. Feel the warmth which is getting created between your palms and gently place them over your eyes and face. And feel the warmth sipping into your face and your eyes. Gradually, whenever you're ready, slowly open your eyes and reorient yourself to the space around you. How are you all feeling right now? And this is very natural, that the thoughts are just pouring in and out. And in this moment, allow it to just flow. Don't try to stop your thought. If the thoughts are coming in, let it come and just flow it out. What if you are feeling relaxed? Because we've not just got in tune with the sensation and observed, but we also tried to release it out. I can also see sometimes, we get very tearful. There is something which is happening. Maybe you're not able to get in touch with that, but it needs a release. So if you're comfortable, you can always let a tear out, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I know that right now, when we think of mindfulness, what we may feel is that, oh, I'm not able to concentrate on the instructions. I'm not able to, focus on my body. That might happen in the beginning, and that's completely fine. We are able to develop mindfulness over a period of time and not just in a session. So if the thoughts were coming in, there's nothing wrong with it. Just allow the thoughts to come in and let the thoughts flow out rather than holding on to it. So I know a lot of you might have observed, like while we are doing this scan, there might be some sensation, some tingling sensation, some heaviness that we might have observed. What I would want all of you to do is that let's draw a human figure here. As you can see, I've done it here, right? And let's just, start drawing and putting that sensation onto this paper. A lot of time we may feel, oh, I'm feeling anxious, but how am I feeling anxious? So when I put it down on paper, I know, okay, when my heart was beating really fast, that was an indication that I was feeling anxious. Or right now, when I observed that I was feeling really lonely, and while I was scanning, I realized that, okay, there was some stiffness in my arms, there was some stiffness in my shoulder. That was an indication that, okay, my body is, through this stiffness, my body is trying to tell me something. This is what my body was maybe trying to tell me. Yeah, noise in the head. We can put all of this down into a paper. Let's draw it together if you. I'll also draw along with you. And it's okay, yeah, here the focus is not on drawing. It is more on, just putting it out on paper. Take your time and draw it out. I'll also draw along with you and we can share it together. You can also draw it out in terms of not just in the front, but if you feel that you have felt, some aches and pain in your lower back, you can just draw that out also. You can draw two images, one from the front side, one for the back side. If you felt that your head was feeling really, really heavy, you can put that also on paper. What part of the head that you felt heavy? Was it the top of my head, just left side of my brain, or the right side of my head? What was it? It's feeling really, am I feeling really tingling sensation in my feet? Or are my feet feeling too heavy for me? While we are trying this out, I want to reflect, how often do I feel these sensations in my body? Would you like to share, you know, how is your, how have you, mapped your body? How is it looking? I'll start off, and there's please no judgment of my drawing. So right now what I'm feeling is increased heartbeat and some tingling sensation in my cheeks. So that is what I have drawn. If you don't want to share the drawing, you can also type it out. That would also work. Does anyone want to share what they've mapped? You can even unmute yourself and share. You can verbally also mention. What were the sensations that you experienced? Okay. That's okay if you don't feel comfortable sharing. That is also completely fine. So now that we have, marked it in our body, okay, this is what I'm feeling. Yes. Stiff neck and, pain in the ankle. Yes. Anyone else who would like to share? Okay. Now that we've reflected and we have sensed, okay, these were my emotions that I was feeling, where these emotions are getting stored in my body, and what are the sensations in which they are, conversing and talking to me, that letting me know, okay, this is what I'm feeling. Let's take it ahead To understand, I want to hear, and I want you to hear it from you. Why is it important that we should get attuned and be more aware of our inner voice? Why do you all think that it is important for us to listen to our body's signals? You can also unmute and share. To know ourselves better, yes. What else it could be? To have more control over our thoughts and processes. Right. What else? So imagine that we are driving a car. To be emotionally fit, yes. So imagine that we are driving a car, and all of a sudden there is some noise which is coming from the car. I'll just move ahead. I'll be able to ignore. I'm just going to move ahead. A little bit moving ahead, I'll observe that there is some signal which is coming up in the indicator. Some red light is blinking. I don't know what that is. Something is blinking, but I'm just moving ahead. Over a period of time, you are driving. There is some noise coming. The blinking is there. There is something more which is happening, but I'm not aware. What do you think is going to happen next? What will happen to the car? Failure, it will break. Yes. What else will it happen? It would completely stop working. It might just all of a sudden just pause. And this is what happens with us also. Our body is trying to tell us something. When am I feeling stressed? When am I feeling overwhelmed? Do I feel there is a lot on my plate right now and I really need to pause down? Is it what my body is trying to tell me? So when we're listening to our body, it is not just important for our emotional well-being, but our overall well-being. Because it's not just going to have an impact only at a mental level, but also at a physical level. It will have an impact on how I'm able to connect with with people who are close to me. The relations, the social relationships which are there around me. How am I able to build things with them? It will also have an impact on my efficiency of my work. It is also going to have an impact on my productivity. Am I feeling too stressed? Is my head I'm taking up this task, I'm just working on it, but every time I open my laptop, my eyes just feels really, really heavy. My head feels it's just going to just blast. It's so hot. That is my body's telling me, and then I don't listen to that. I just type it out. I just go ahead with my project. I'm working, and there is the time where I'm not actually aware what's up. I'm just typing it out and send it across. So my quality of work is also getting affected. The amount of time that it takes is also getting affected. Sometimes I just feel that I really don't want to do this at all, but I don't know why. So body, through its own ways, through its own language, is trying to tell us a narrative. It's trying to tell us our story. That right now, you have worked really hard. The past 5 days were really, really hectic for you. So it is okay for you to take a pause. It is okay for you to slow down. And that is our inner voice, what is they are trying to tell us through our body sensation. So the more we are attuned with our body, more we are attuned with our self, more we would be, it would be beneficial for our overall well-being. And not just one area of my life, that is personal life, but overall my work, my relationships, my personal life, my mental health, my physical health, just all over the way, right? So it is important for us to be more attuned. And today, through our session, what we did was just one way wherein we got really, connected to ourselves and also released our emotions out. But there are various other ways in which also we can do it. So some ways in which we can get in more tune and express our inner voice is through any form of art. It could be through dancing, any form of body movement, through music, talking to a loved one, just pausing, taking a pause, relaxing, sleeping, writing things down, journaling, connecting with nature. Sometimes even crying could be a good way of just venting and letting those, what's happening inside, just letting it out. So today we did one medium of it, but these are many others that if you feel you are more comfortable, maybe through body scan was one thing that you felt, okay, I was somewhat comfortable with, but writing would really help me out. So go ahead, take a paper, take a pen, and just write your feelings out, write your thoughts out. Tune in with yourself, slow yourself down, breathe in, and see what is happening in your body. Make a note of that. Right? So these are some other ways in which we can also get attuned with ourselves and also express ourselves much better. And to get more attuned, because this does not happen in a day or two, this is something which needs to get created over a period of time. Engaging into yoga, mindfulness on a daily basis are some ways in which, over a period of time, where we become more attuned with our inner voices and our body's voice. Right? So this is something that we can try to take away from here. Now I'll keep it open to you all. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. What kind of distractions are we talking?
Like staying the mobile for a lot of time. I actually have a mobile uh, app that actually counts my timer for what time of duration I am using a certain app. But
Right.
still, then I have that issue that I often get distracted to use the mobile for a longer duration of time, and the work gets left for that. So I just need a fine solution. I have been trying other methods, but uh, uh, often there are I tried for some days, and then if it is gets lapsed for a day or two, then that sequence breaks out. So I have that problem that the consistency doesn't come in a good way.
Right. I think everyone, like the distraction that you mentioned, are not just through screen time. It is also important to understand that, in that moment when I'm using screen time, am I trying to put any emotions which are coming up for me down? So if there is a work in front of me that I'm engaging, is it coming, it's happening only for specific kind of work? Is it coming only when I'm working? Is it also coming when in my personal time or not? Something that we can reflect on to also understand that are these just distraction or are these, again trying to tell us something?
Most of the time, it doesn't relate to my work, and it's actually something different from my work perspective. Often, some videos I watch some videos and then there are videos in the lower panel which actually seeks attention, and then I go on checking the other videos. So that's the issue, and that's one thing that troubles me, that uh, my mind actually takes me away from the work and takes me distracted to a longer when I am just out for a moment. for 15 minutes, it actually gets turned into an hour.
Right. I think this is something that would require exploration to understand how frequent it is happening, when is it happening, what are the things that you've already tried. So this requires some exploration. So you can always, if you think this is something that is really of a concern, it's having an impact on various areas of your life, you can always get in touch with us. So having more to, or you can get in touch with any of the professionals, they can help you to guide this in a much better manner. Right? Right now it would be a little difficult, to get in the depth of it, to understand the root, at a root level, what is happening. Are there any other questions that you have?
Yeah, I have a question. Like the first activity you have shown, in that we have to analyze our thoughts, like what our body is feeling right now. So how to catch those thoughts means what we have to analyze within our bodies.
So you meant the body scan activity that we did, the mindfulness one, or
The first one where we have uh, 3 or 4 seasons and we have to just select one of them.
So it was not very much about the thoughts. It was just right now what I'm feeling. So which of the image that I felt more connected to right now? So for example, for many of us, when we look at the cloud, today I'm feeling really happy. So maybe I'm getting attracted to the sunny thing. Today I'm feeling really calm. Maybe I'm getting attracted to the third part. So it's not, and it is very subjective, people to people, what your perception is, how you are looking at it. So, for example, when I looked at it, I really got right now connected to the second figure where there was rainbow to it. So rainbow also indicates okay there is sun and rain together. So I was also feeling a little calm and relaxed today. At the same time, a little anxious. So I think those two really stuck with me, and that's why I selected two. So it is not necessary that we always have to have these thoughts. Sometimes it's just I like this picture more because I feel more connected to it, and that's about it.
Okay. Thank you.
Any more questions do we have? So just with regards to the workshop, we've also had a small feedback form that we would really love if you could fill in. And it's been, I think, pasted here in the chat box. You can just have a look at it as well.
Yes. Is there any questions? If anybody wants to unmute and speak, that'll be lovely.
You can share your thoughts about the workshop.
Yeah. I don't think if there is any questions. Thank you so much, Riddhi, for doing the session for us. I think it was very helpful, and it was really insightful as well. And the activity actually made us, understand more about where to pressure, all these things. Thank you so much again for having us. Aparshita, you can get the recording on our YouTube channel. You can go to Nova Benefits. And thank you everyone for joining. Hope you have a great weekend ahead and a great birthday as well. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Thank you, Riddhi, again.
Thank you so much. I hope you had something to take away from here, all of you. And we become more tuned to listening to our inner voices.